Sometimes, the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises, and the 2008 US Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin is one of those fascinating little treasures that continues to capture the attention of collectors all across America. On the surface, it looks like any ordinary penny, something you might find in your pocket change or stuck between couch cushions. But for those who know what to look for, this 2008 Lincoln penny can reveal a story of history, craftsmanship, and for a few lucky collectors, serious value. The Lincoln cent has been one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, it has seen subtle changes in its design and composition, but the heart of it, Lincoln's iconic portrait, has remained a symbol of integrity, strength, and leadership. By 2008, the design was still based on Victor David Brenner's original 1909 artwork, featuring the bold image of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the words, "In God We Trust." Above, Liberty on the left, and the year 2008, placed near the bottom right. This coin marks the final year before the historic 2009 redesign celebrating Lincoln's 200th birthday, which makes the 2008 Lincoln Liberty cent extra special for collectors. It represents the end of an era, the last of the traditional reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, before the mint transition to the 4 unique 2009 bicentennial reverses. That alone gives the 2008 penny a touch of historical significance. The 2008 Lincoln cent was minted in massive numbers across 3 facilities: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; and San Francisco, S Mint Mark for proofs. Most of these coins were made from copper-plated zinc, a composition the mint had used since 1982. But while billions were struck for everyday use, a few exceptional pieces slipped through the cracks with minor minting errors or perfect strike quality, turning them into collector favorites. Now, before we dive into the story of rarity and value, let me ask you, where are you watching from? And do you have any 2008 Lincoln Liberty pennies in your collection? Drop your answer in the comments below, because you never know, one of your coins might be worth more than you think. Many 2008 Lincoln pennies found in circulation today show signs of wear, but a small number have been discovered with incredible detail and luster, making them worth far more than 1 cent. For example, coins graded MS68 by PCGS or NGC, meaning they are nearly flawless under magnification, can fetch prices well above $200, sometimes even higher depending on demand. But the real excitement lies in the rare errors that emerge during production. Some 2008 Lincoln pennies show off center strikes, die cracks, or double die varieties, small imperfections created when the die misaligns or strikes the coin more than once. One particularly fascinating type is the 2008 double die obverse, where parts of the lettering or Lincoln's profile appear slightly duplicated. These variations often go unnoticed in daily life, but to collectors, their pure gold.at coin shows and online auctions, enthusiasts eagerly search for these 2008-era pennies. Even a slight misprint or doubling can skyrocket the value from a single cent to hundreds of dollars. There have been documented cases where rare examples, especially in uncirculated condition, sold for between $300 and $600. It's all about condition, rarity, and collector interest. Another aspect that makes the 2008 Lincoln cent interesting is its timing in U.S. coin history. It serves as the bridge between 2 eras, the classic Lincoln Memorial design and the modern Lincoln Bicentennial series. For collectors who appreciate historical transitions, this makes the 2008 issue especially appealing as a last-of-its-kind collectible. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has symbolized far more than just a monetary denomination. It's a connection to American heritage, a tribute to one of the most beloved presidents, and a testament to how small details can make a big difference. Whether it's a unique minting flaw or a perfectly preserved specimen, every coin has a story waiting to be told, and sometimes, those stories come with a surprising price tag. Now, if you're thinking of checking your coins, here's what you should do. Look closely at your 2008 Lincoln Liberty penny under good light or with a magnifying glass. Pay special attention to the date, the word Liberty, and the details of Lincoln's hair and coat. Any doubling, misalignment, or unusual mark could be a clue that your penny is not just an average one. Collectors value 2008 Lincoln cents based on 3 main factors: mint mark, condition, and rarity. Circulated coins generally hold their face value, but mint-state examples graded MS66 or above start to attract attention. Proof versions, especially those from the San Francisco Mint, can reach even higher prices depending on their visual appeal and level of perfection. One example of a 2008 S-proof Lincoln penny in deep cameo condition sold for around $350 at auction, proving that even modern coins can hold strong collector value when properly preserved. Similarly, a 2008 D Lincoln cent graded MS-68 brought in close to $200 due to its flawless surface and sharp strike. The market for Lincoln cents continues to grow, driven by both nostalgia and investment potential. More people are realizing that modern coins, especially those with production quirks or historical timing, can be just as exciting as older ones. The 2008 penny is an ideal example, not ancient, but meaningful, marking the end of a design that lasted over 50 years. Every coin enthusiast knows the thrill of finding something rare in ordinary change. And that's what makes the 2008 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin so special. It's still out there, waiting to be discovered by sharp-eyed collectors like you. So, the next time you receive pennies in your change, take a closer look before spending them. You might just be holding a small piece of American history that could be worth far more than you imagined. If you found a 2008 Lincoln penny that looks unusual, or is in near-perfect condition, consider getting it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and assign a value to your coin based on its quality and uniqueness. A coin in top condition, sealed in a certified holder, can fetch impressive prices in private sales or auctions. And now, let's get to what everyone's been waiting for, the value highlight. While most 2008 Lincoln pennies are worth just 1 cent, the exceptional ones can sell anywhere between $200 and $600 in uncirculated condition. Proof versions or coins with noticeable errors can reach $1,000 or more depending on the market and the collector's demand. So before you dismiss that little copper coin as pocket change, remember, the 2008 US Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin might just be the hidden gem sitting right in your palm. Check your change, look closely at your collection, and keep an eye out for those rare varieties that could make your next discovery truly priceless. And if you enjoy learning about hidden treasures like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and tell us in the comments if you've ever found a valuable penny. Who knows, your next 1 cent coin might just be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. Imagine this, you're holding a penny from 1988. It's small, dull, maybe even a bit worn out. You might toss it into a jar, never thinking twice. But what if I told you that this little 1988 US Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin could be hiding a secret worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? That's right. What seems like an ordinary penny might just be your ticket to an incredible discovery. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's rewind to 1988. The US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents across the country, in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. It was an era when the penny was still widely used in everyday life, and hardly anyone thought twice about its value. Yet, tucked among those billions, a few 1988 pennies were struck with a tiny but powerful difference, a minting variety that would one day send shockwaves through the coin collecting world. This was the year of the 1988 Lincoln cent transitional era, and if you've never heard of it before, prepare to be amazed. On the surface, the 1988 Lincoln penny looks normal. President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with "In God We Trust" above, Liberty on the left, and the year 1988 stamped near the bottom. But here's where the story takes a turn. Some 1988 pennies, particularly from the Denver Mint, marked with a tiny D, were accidentally struck using an older reverse design from 1987. That means they feature subtle differences that only trained eyes can spot. The key detail lies on the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial. Specifically, it's in the designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, located to the right of the memorial's base. On the 1988 era coins, those initials match the older 1987 reverse style instead of the updated 1988 design. It's a small difference, but in the coin world, small differences can mean big money. Collectors call this the 1988 reverse of 1987 Lincoln cent, and it's one of the most exciting modern varieties in US coinage. These rare coins were minted by mistake, blending designs from 2 different years, a dream scenario for era collectors. When they first began surfacing, experts and treasure hunters rushed to check their change, hoping to find one of these elusive pieces. But before I tell you how much these little beauties are worth, let me ask, where are you watching from? And have you ever found a 1988 penny with unusual markings or sharp details? Let us know in the comments below. You might be sitting on a hidden gem and not even know it. Now, let's dive into why this coin matters. The 1988 Lincoln cent marks a fascinating period in US mint history, a time when new die designs were being introduced and technology was transitioning. Mistakes were bound to happen. And when they did, those tiny variations turned ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. On the obverse, you'll see Lincoln's familiar portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, still as timeless as ever. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the Lincoln Memorial with all its fine architectural details. But on the rare era versions, the FG initials are closer to the base of the memorial and more delicate in shape, a telltale sign that you've found a coin worth holding onto. When it comes to value, condition is everything. Circulated 1988 pennies are typically worth just 1 cent, of course. But the 1988 reverse of 1987 varieties? They're a whole different story. Depending on condition and mintmark, they can sell anywhere from $50 to $200 for lightly circulated pieces, and up to $1,000 or more for high-grade, uncirculated examples verified by PCGS or NGC.in. Fact: one 1988 Lincoln cent with the reverse of 1987 variety graded MS67 read by PCGS sold for an astonishing $2,400 at auction, all because of that subtle design difference most people never notice. That's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of finding treasure where others see nothing special. Even without the error, a flawless 1988 Lincoln penny in top condition can fetch a decent price. Coins graded MS68, with brilliant luster and sharp details, have sold for over $250 at major auctions. Proof versions struck in San Francisco also hold strong collector interest, especially when preserved in pristine condition. So, what should you look for in your 1988 pennies? Start with the basics. Flip the coin and look closely at the designer's initials on the back. Compare the shape and spacing of the FG. If it matches the older 1987 style, congratulations, you might have found one of the most sought-after transitional errors of the 1980s. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera's zoom to inspect the coin carefully. Pay attention to the sharpness of Lincoln's face, the details in the lettering, and the shine of the copper plating. If your coin shows a bright, full red luster and minimal marks, it could be worth grading professionally. And here's another reason the 1988 penny stands out. It was one of the last Lincoln cents before the major design shift in 2009, when the reverse changed to celebrate Lincoln's bicentennial. That makes it part of a closing chapter in US coin design history, giving it even more appeal to collectors who love coins that mark transitions and endings. The beauty of coin collecting is that you never know what you might find. Every coin tells a story, a moment in history captured in metal. And for the 1988 Lincoln Liberty penny, that story is about change, accident, and discovery. It's a reminder that even in something as common as a penny, there's potential for something extraordinary. So, next time you empty your pockets or open a jar of spare change, take a closer look. Check the date. Check the details. That 1988 penny you've been overlooking might just be one of those rare transitional pieces collectors are dying to find. To put it simply, this little coin could turn into a big deal. Average 1988 pennies are worth a cent, but the rare varieties and high-grade examples can go from $50 to $2,500 depending on condition, mintmark, and variety. And that's why collectors all over the US keep their eyes open for this exact coin. Because sometimes, treasure hides in the most ordinary places. So, grab your coins, start hunting, and who knows? You could be the next person to uncover a 1988 Lincoln penny that turns a tiny piece of copper into a serious payday. If you love rare coin stories like this, don't forget to hit like, tap subscribe, and share this video with fellow coin enthusiasts. Tell us in the comments if you've checked your 1988 pennies, and whether you think you've spotted the famous reverse of 1987 variety. Because who knows, your next penny might not just be worth 1 cent, it might just change your fortune. Picture this, you're holding a simple penny. It's small, light, something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. But what if that 1 cent coin in your hand was secretly worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? That's the mystery behind the 2008 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent penny, a coin that looks ordinary but carries a story of history, rarity, and unexpected fortune. And trust me, After this, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Back in 2008, the US Mint in Denver was busy producing billions of Lincoln cents. The economy was changing, technology was advancing, and yet the Lincoln penny, a coin first struck in 1909, continued to endure as a national symbol. The D mark under the year stands for Denver, one of the most active mints in the country, known for producing coins with crisp details and beautiful strikes. But even in a facility that prides itself on precision, a few coins slipped through the cracks, coins that would later become treasures for collectors. The 2008 D Lincoln Liberty penny represents the end of an era. It was the last full year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design before the mint changed everything in 2009 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday. So, this coin isn't just a piece of change, it's a farewell to one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. Now, look closely at this coin. On the front, you'll see the powerful image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, the same design used for over a century. Above his head, the words, "In God We Trust," stand proudly. To the left, Liberty, and on the right the date, 2008, with that tiny but important D mint mark. Flip it over, and you'll see the famous Lincoln Memorial, every column carefully engraved, with the words, "United States of America," above and 1 cent below. It's simple, classic, and deeply American, but here's where the story gets interesting. Among the billions of 2008 D pennies minted, some came out with incredible quality, nearly flawless strikes that gleam under the light. Others, however, were born with errors, tiny minting mistakes that collectors go wild for. Some show double dies, where the lettering or Lincoln's features appear slightly doubled. Others have misaligned strikes or die cracks running through the design. To the average person, these may look like imperfections. To collectors, they're gold. And here's the real thrill. Some 2008 D pennies have sold at auction for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 by PCGS or NGC, meaning they're virtually perfect, have fetched over $200 to $500. Rare error coins, especially those with noticeable doubling or striking issues, have reached as high as $1,000. Imagine finding one of those in your pocket change. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. But before we go deeper, I want to ask you something. Where are you watching from? And have you ever checked your coins for rare varieties like this one? Drop your answer in the comments below. You might be surprised how many people have discovered small fortunes hiding in their spare change. Now, let's rewind a bit. The Lincoln penny isn't just another coin. It's the longest-running design in US coin history. When it was first released in 1909, it became an instant hit because it was the first coin to feature a real person, President Abraham Lincoln, instead of an abstract symbol or mythical figure. Over the decades, it's been through wars, recessions, and technological revolutions, yet it still remains one of the most recognizable coins in the world. By 2008, this design had been used for almost 100 years, and that's part of what makes it so collectible today. The Denver Mint struck billions, yes, but finding one in absolutely perfect condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Coins go through machines, bags, and circulation, so when one survives with its full luster, no scratches, and no imperfections, collectors are willing to pay serious money for it. Let's talk about what makes some of these 2008 D pennies stand out. A few have been discovered with unusual copper plating variations, giving them a slightly different tone. Others have subtle die rotations, meaning the front and back designs aren't perfectly aligned. There are even a handful with partial color errors, a striking issue that gives the rim a strange raised edge. These coins are incredibly rare and highly sought after in the numismatic community. Now imagine this: someone walks into a coin shop with a handful of 2008 D pennies. The dealer picks one up, studies it under magnification, and suddenly smiles. What seemed like an ordinary penny turns out to be a mint error worth several $100s. Stories like this happen more often than you'd think. Collectors love the thrill of the hunt, and every now and then, a discovery like this reminds them that treasures can hide in plain sight. The 2008 D penny also carries emotional weight. It's the last Lincoln Memorial design before the bicentennial redesign in 2009. For many collectors, it's a closing chapter in a story that began a century earlier. It represents the end of a legacy, making it especially meaningful to those who appreciate American coin history. And if you've got a 2008 D Lincoln penny in your collection, Don't just glance at it, study it. Look at the D min mark. Examine Lincoln's profile, the lettering, and the rim. A simple magnifying glass can reveal fascinating details you never noticed before. Who knows, you could be holding one of the rarest examples out there. The value of a 2008 penny depends on condition, rarity, and eye appeal. Circulated ones are worth face value, of course, but if you find a bright, uncirculated piece with full details, you're looking at $5 to $20 right away. From there, it jumps dramatically with higher grades. Certified MS-67 examples regularly sell for around $250, while MS-68 specimens have gone for $400 to $600. And then there are those rare error coins. If you find one with clear doubling, dyed breaks, or off-center strikes, the price can climb into the $1,000 range depending on how visible and unique the error is. At one heritage auction, a pristine 2008 Lincoln cent graded MS-68 red sold for nearly $400. Not bad for a 1-cent coin that most people would overlook. Another example with a dramatic off-center strike brought in almost $800 due to its unusual appearance. These are real sales that prove the value is there for those who look closely enough. So, next time you get change at the store or find a handful of pennies in a drawer, take a moment to inspect them. That simple habit could lead you to an incredible discovery. Rare coins are still out there, and sometimes, it's the ones that look the most ordinary that hold the greatest surprises. The 2008 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin reminds us that value isn't always about size or shine. Sometimes it's about history, craftsmanship, and the beauty of imperfection. It's a coin that closes a historic chapter while opening the door to curiosity and discovery. So go ahead, check your coins, grab a magnifying glass, and see what treasures might be waiting for you. And if you enjoyed learning about this rare and fascinating penny, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and let us know in the comments what coin you'd love to see next. Who knows, your next penny could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. Keep watching, keep searching, and keep believing, because the next great coin discovery could be sitting right in your pocket.